I was the viewer the whole time. The whole time. I had one viewer for that last stream. We were really excited, but it turns out I'd muted the stream preview instead of pausing it, so I think I was the one viewer. This is 16 Tales 2. I don't know what this is. I can't find... I mean, obviously we're playing this on legitimate discs. When I got the disc for this game, it was on a site that doesn't exist anymore, and I can't find the disc for this game on any other sites. It might be called something else, but the one I got has 16 Tales 2 written on it. Don't know what this is. I think it's in English, so that's a good step in the right direction. But beyond that, this could be anything. A mysterious one, this. Let's see. Let's click 1. "16 Tales." That's what this is. I'm actually so excited. This could be anything. I get the feeling that there's not going to be much of a gameplay element in this. Tell me about the blind man's daughter. I gotta know. Perhaps this won't be in English. Regardless, we're watching this.
안녕하세요, 여러분. Hello,
Okay,
everyone.
not in English.
Our story today comes
Oh.
from Korea. A
Maybe
country
I'm
in
just
Eastern
stupid.
Asia. In today's story about the blind man's daughter, you will notice that
The audio's
girl's
terrible.
name is Shim Chung. Chung is her first name, like Jenny or Maria or Susie. And Shim is her family name. As in many Asian cultures, the family name is set first. So, if your name is John Smith in Korea, you would be called Smith John. Listen now to the tale of the blind man's daughter.
I want to hear it. What is this? Who made this? Where did this come from?
500 years ago, maybe more, there lived in a certain village a girl named Shim Chung. Her mother had died long ago, and now her father was going blind. Shim Chung was very beautiful. Her face was smooth and white. Her hair was shiny and black.
Don't want to interrupt
She
him.
was very good and honest.
I mean, I don't know nothing about this star.
It was as if nothing could harm her. She guided
This
her
sounds
father
terrible. Why
when
is
he had
this
to work.
such a sad story?
But his blindness kept him from work, and little by little, all they owned had to be sold to keep them alive.
This is
The old
horrible.
man Shim became a beggar. He felt ashamed that his daughter had to go with him to beg for coins.
Ah,
One
sorry.
day, he went out alone. He tripped and fell into a ditch.
Oh God,
Tried to climb out, but he couldn't.
it's
Then
like
a
an inch
strong
deep.
hand reached out and lifted him up, and a voice spoke to him. "Give me 300 bags of rice for the temple, old man, and in time you shall have your eyes once again." It was the voice of a priest from the temple,
Does he have that much bags of
the
rice?
old
Is he
man's
Jeff
heart
Bezos?
filled with hope. That evening,
It's a
he
deep
told
cut.
his daughter what had
I can't
happened.
resist.
But as he told her, his hope went away, and he got very, very sad. I go. There is no way for beggars like us to get so much rice." That night, as Shim Chung drifted off to sleep, she sighed, "What to do? What to do?" "Do as I say," someone answered. In a dream, Her dead mother told her how to get the rice and help her father see again. The next morning, Shimchung awoke early. She dressed in a long gray gown and a big hat. Then she walked to the house of a very rich merchant. Now, this merchant owned many, many boats
On a
that
proper
drove
rice
flights to
scheme here.
faraway China. But there was a river dragon who would not let the boats go through. He would spit water and lash the waves with his tail. It was too dangerous for boats to sail. "What must I give you? What must I do so my boats may go through?" said the merchant to the dragon. "You must bring me a beautiful girl," the dragon answered.
Oh, this is cheating.
And
You
so,
can't just count on a dragon
merchant
to give you
spread the
300
news far and
bags of
wide.
rice?
He would offer 300 bags of rice to the girl who would give herself
I
to
don't
the
know
dragon.
about this story.
Shimchung
Forgotten what the
told
lad's name is.
the merchant that she wished to offer herself to the dragon. "You do not deserve to die.
And again, this is
You are a
horrible.
good daughter, and you are dutiful to your father." But there was no other way for Shimchung to get the rice.
Sometimes you just
So,
gotta die
the
so
bargain
you
was
can have
made.
money.
The next day,
I mean, rice in this
Shimchung
case.
watched the horses carry the bags of rice to the priest's temple. Then she bowed before the tomb of her mother and prayed, "Oh, heavenly spirits,
This kid's life.
care for my father until he is cured."
Mom
And
died.
she spoke to
Dad
her
went
neighbors.
blind. Dad
"Oh,
fell
kind
into
neighbors,
crazy
care
debt.
for my father until
Had
he is
to
cured."
sacrifice herself to a dragon. Those are the 4 major events that have
Then
happened in our
she
life.
set forth to keep her part of the bargain. She wore a beautiful gown of green and red with jewels and golden ribbons in her hair. Her beauty shone brighter than the sun in the eastern sky.
Why is this in a tiny little square and all?
Soon they came to the place in the
The
river
production quality seems
where
to
the
be
dragon lashed his huge tail.
not
It was
extravagant.
time to sacrifice Shimchung to the dragon. The merchant wanted to save her. "Oh, river dragon, do not take this girl." But the river dragon demanded the
This
beautiful
man is a
girl.
green lump.
So Shimchung said goodbye to the merchant. She closed her eyes and jumped off the side of the boat and disappeared into the water. Instantly, the river became calm and quiet like a garden pool. Shimchung floated through the water, pearls flashed before her eyes, big rainbow-colored fish danced by, and sea plants tickled her nose as she brushed past them. At last, she arrived at the palace of the dragon. "Kind sir, I'm the daughter of the blind beggar, Shim. I'm not worthy to come before one so important as you." The river dragon spoke. "A message has come to us from Hananim, the emperor of heaven
This
and earth.
audio is
You shall be
starting about
rewarded
them.
for your goodness to your blind father."
I reckon this
Then
one tale's
sea
wrapping
maidens
up, and then we
dressed
just got 3 left.
Shimchung in the finest clothes. They gave her the softest sleeping mats and the richest food. In this life of comfort and ease, Shimchung grew more beautiful than ever. Then one day, the maidens took her to a giant lotus blossom that lay on the river bottom, and they put her right in it. It was so large that it covered her completely. "Goodbye, Shimchung," said
And
the
now I can
river
add 2 more
dragon. "Goodbye,"
events.
Shimchung answered back.
She got bad and
And
bougie,
soon
and then she got fed
she
to a
felt
big
herself
flower.
rising like a bubble up through the water. When she reached the top, she was floating next to the boat of the rice merchant. But the rice merchant did not see her. All he saw was the blossom. Never in heaven or on earth was there such a lotus flower as this, said the merchant.
What a big flower,
Let us
said
take
the
it
man.
to the king. The merchant
Why is...
presented the flower to the king. The king was delighted. No one else in all the world had such a blossom. Every day he admired it floating in the garden pool. All day long, Shimchang hid inside the giant flower. Then one night, as she ventured out of the blossom, the king discovered her. She ran to hide,
is this bad?
but the blossom had disappeared.
This story's
king
got
looked
kind
at
of an
her.
improvised feel.
Can this be a spirit?
It's got kind of an AI dungeon feel.
He called his wise men. On the day the lotus flower was brought to the king, a bright new star had appeared in the sky. That's a good sign. And so he made Shimchang his wife. Shimchang was happy in her life as a queen, but some days she would think of her poor father. Here I have all I want, but my poor father's eyes are closed to the world. One day,
Oh
the
god.
king saw her weeping.
It just keeps
"I
going.
know, my husband," Shimchang said to the king. "I have had a dream about a blind man. It makes me cry. I should like to do something for all the blind people in the kingdom." So a message was sent to all the blind beggars of the kingdom to invite them to a feast in the king's courtyard. 1 day, 2 days, and 3 days passed. Beggars came from far and near to eat rice and kimchi. Queen Chang watched every day, hoping the next person would be her father. The end of the feast came, and still no father. Then one day, there was a noise in the courtyard. A latecomer was being pushed about by the servants. "Father, father, it is my dear father. Let him stay." She ordered her servants
What is the
to
point
dress
of
him
having him
in new clothing
the 3
and
days
bring him
where he didn't
to her
went
chamber.
immediately?
"What wonder is this?" said the old man Shim, when he heard his daughter's voice. "Do apricots bloom in the snow? Do horses have horns? Do the dead men come to life?
Powerful questions.
How can I be sure you are truly Chang?" And he rubbed his eyes. Suddenly, just as the temple priest had promised, the old man's sight returned. "Oh, my goodness, you are beautiful," he said. The king welcomed Shimchang's father into the palace, and Queen Chang was happy all day long.
And the moral of this story is...
again. This was the heavenly reward to the dutiful daughter of the blind beggar, Shim.
A wild tale, for sure.
The story of the blind man's daughter, Shim Chang, is just one of the many folk tales from Korea. You can find others in your school or public
I do tend to like
library.
folk tales, just
Stories
generally.
such as The Man Who Lived 1,000
I've
Years
never heard
and
a folk tale from
Korean
Korea.
Cinderella, Kongji Patji.
It's exciting.
Read
I'm having
and
fun.
enjoy
I'm having fun
folk
here.
tales from Korea
I've been a bit quiet
from all over the world.
because I don't want to interrupt the live.
Share a story with a friend, so our tales will never end.
On the one hand, it's like I should leave this because it's not exactly like a big moment for commentary. I'm not adding a lot here. But on the other hand, I might have like the only legitimate disc of this that exists in the world. And we need to explore. This is why we started this series, to see Stuff we weren't expecting. To be surprised. And I'm thoroughly surprised right now. This has been a surprising experience. Should we let the credits play? I don't know which one of these buttons would stop the credits from playing. I mean, presumably forward, but you know. It's cool, we got that. That was one of 16 tales. I think there were only 4 tales, actually.
The program was funded in part by a grant from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
This is a PlayStation 1 game, though. What is this? We got Jose and the crocodile. We got Mao Liang and the magic brush. We got the tale of Urashima Taro. Don't know if there's anyone around, but if you got any preferences here, you know, now's the time to holler. I think we're gonna just move on to number 2. Probably gonna do 2 of these and then move on. This is pretty fun. Don't know if anyone else would agree, but I'm having fun. This is a crazy find. So I downloaded this one, bought this one legitimately back when there was a lot more websites where you could legitimately buy PlayStation 1 discs before that kind of got cracked down on. And there was some with just weird stuff like this. And, you know, all the, like, stuff anyone cares about survived, but I don't know if this did. I don't know if this died out. That'd be tragic, though, anyway. Tell me about the crocodiles. I want to know. I don't have 16 Tales 1, by the way. Or, like, presumably, there'll be, like, 4 of them or something. If there's 4 Tales per. This is the only one we got. I wonder if this is like available in non-PlayStation game format. Was this on TV? Somewhere? It's got like a unlabeled VHS kind of feel.
A group of islands in the Pacific Ocean. Long ago, the early people of the Philippines made up stories to tell their children. These folk tales were the textbooks of their day. They served to preserve the history and traditions of the people. They told about events that had happened and also tried to explain the interesting things in nature that they saw about them. In a land of volcanoes, earthquakes, and violent storms, there was a lot to try to explain. Mountains erupted, and sometimes the earth shook beneath their feet, and new islands rose unexpectedly from the sea. The people were always surrounded by nature, so they were often puzzled by some of the oddities they saw. What was this fish with no bones or scales and looked like a blob of jelly? What made insects glow in the dark? Where did the eagle come from? And the crocodile? They made up a story for everything. Talking animals are found as characters in folktales everywhere, and, as is proper in a tropical country, it is a quick-thinking monkey who is the hero of today's story.
I heard this
Jose
one.
and the Crocodile, in its characters, setting, and topic, is a typical Filipino story. This story may be like some stories you have heard before. Tell me if it is. Now, listen to this tale of Jose and the Crocodile.
I'm excited.
It begins, "Noong
Filipino
unang
folktale
panahon."
this time. And this lady don't pause for as long as the last lad did. And I'm happy we got different storytellers here, but
Jose lived with his family in a little village next to a river.
not got as much space
Jose's
to work
father
with.
raised coconuts, bananas, and other fruits and vegetables. One day, his mother asked, "Jose, will you please gather some coconuts? I need them for cooking and feeding the hogs, and your father would like to sell some at the market." Yes, Mother, right away, Jose answered. Jose hitched the water buffalo to a sled. He took his sharp bolo and strapped it to his waist.
That's very
Climbed on
angular
the water
buffalo you got there.
and started
Jose.
looking for fallen coconuts.
Beautiful creature. Fascinating
Jose was
creature.
too small to climb the tall coconut trees, so he gathered ones that had fallen off the trees. There were not too many on the ground near the house that day, so he wandered farther and farther away. It was hard work, and Jose traveled far. The air was hot and humid. Jose and the water buffalo became very tired and thirsty.
What part of that water buffalo is a head?
So they went to the river for a drink and a quick swim in the cool water.
Some kind of
While
perspective
Jose was splashing water
issue
on the water
going on there.
buffalo, he heard a groan coming from far away. It sounded like a cry of some animal in pain. Jose became worried. He jumped on the water buffalo and rode towards the sound. The groans became louder and louder as they rode. Soon, Jose saw a big rope hanging from a branch of a large tree.
Oh, fuck.
At the end of the rope was a net, and in the net, a big crocodile was fighting to get out. Crocodile catchers were here again, thought Jose to himself. They will make shoes and belts and bags out of this poor crocodile skin. Little boy, please help me. I have a wife and
Not a
children,
crocodile fan.
begged the crocodile with
One of my
big
all-time
tears
worst
in his
fears, to
eyes.
be honest.
If you set me free, I will give you a large gold ring, promised the crocodile.
Don't do it. It could eat you in
He
one.
felt sorry for the crocodile and decided to help him. Besides, he thought, when I get the gold ring, Father can sell it, and we won't have to work as hard anymore. He took his bolo from its wooden sheath and stood on the water buffalo, and, after several blows,
I don't trust
cut
that
the rope.
shifty alligator there.
Jose climbed off the buffalo and cut the net into pieces. The crocodile slid through the net. He was free again. Now that I have set you free, may I have the gold ring you promised me? The beautiful gold ring is in my house down the river. Up on my
It's
back,
having you
and
on.
we will go and get it. Then
Crocodiles
we
don't
will
have
be
gold
rich.
rings. This guy.
Jose did just as he was told. Quietly, the crocodile slid down the bank into the river. Jose held tightly to the crocodile's slippery back. Foolish child. He has no idea that I want to eat him. I'm very
Fucking called
hungry, and he will make a tasty meal.
What a fucking liar,
The
dude.
water got deeper and
This
deeper.
guy.
Jose
This
asked,
piece of shit.
how much farther
I'm
is
rooting
the
for
home?
Jose.
Are we close to it now? The crocodile turned his snout towards Jose and said, Oh, I just remembered. The ring is in my stomach. I'll have to swallow you so you can get it yourself.
Okay, that's
As
pretty
Jose
blatant.
looked at the large teeth in the crocodile's huge mouth, he became frightened. Oh no, Mr. Crocodile, please don't swallow me. I shall never get out of your stomach alive. Let me go, please let me go. I don't even want your ring anymore. Jose begged and begged. The crocodile decided to play a game with Jose.
This piece of
All right,
shit
my boy.
crocodile.
Inasmuch as you helped set me free, I will give you a chance to be free. You must ask
We're gonna
the
make him
three things that
shoes.
float down the river whether or not I should eat you. If they say no, then I will set you free. But if they say yes, I will eat you up. Jose had no choice. That sounds fair enough. The first thing they saw floating down the river was an upside-down banca, which is a dugout canoe. Banca, Banca, please help me. What can I do for you, young man? Asked the banca.
Didn't expect the
Do
piece
you
of
think it
driftwood
is
to
fair
talk
for
to
this
him.
crocodile to eat me up after I set him free from the trapper's net? Well, son, let me tell you. When I was a new bunka, my owner was very proud of me. He sailed me up and down the river catching fish. I carried vegetables, rice, chickens, and even his family. But as I grew older, I acquired some leaks. So my owner decided to build another bunka
It was a
and
yes/no
sent me
question,
floating
but
down the river. I'm slowly rotting away. People are not very grateful. Why should Mr. Crocodile be grateful? If I were he, I would eat you up. And with that, the bunka floated past Jose
that
and the
motherfucker.
crocodile. Next came a torn basket with moss growing on its sides. Basket,
Don't ask him.
basket, please help me. Please tell the crocodile he shouldn't eat me after I set him
Why are
free
you
from the
talking to
trapper's
trash?
net." The basket creaked and said, "Huh, people wish others to be grateful, but they themselves never show gratitude. Why, when I was new, my owners took me to the market and filled me with vegetables and fruits. Yes, I was very useful. But the loads
I don't
got
care
so
about your
heavy
life
that
story,
after a few
basket.
months, I started falling apart. Then my master's wife threw me away. Here I am floating all
A
day,
child's
all night,
life
just rotting away.
rests on this.
Crocodile, eat that boy up.
And he's
Teach him a
monologuing,
lesson
and
on
then
thankfulness."
terrible.
Jose was getting sadder and sadder. He cried for his mother, and he cried for his father.
These stories are all
Then a battered old hat came floating
just miserable.
by.
Don't talk to the
Hat,
hat.
Hat, please help me.
Why
Please
would
tell
Hat
the
help?
crocodile not to eat me.
We're
I
getting
set him free
a
from the
theme here,
trapper's
but
net, and now he wants to eat me. Please tell the crocodile it's not fair. The hat laughed. Thankfulness? My boy, talk about thankfulness. I remember when I was new, my master wore me proudly. I kept him cool
Look at
when
that
the
beautiful
sun was
lad.
hot and dry
with
when
his
it
dapper
rained.
hat.
Then I grew old and shaggy, and he threw me into the river. So here I am, just floating in this river, all day and all night, and I am rotting away. Crocodile, eat him up. You should not be thankful to people who do not know how to be thankful themselves.
I'll never trust a hat again.
The crocodile was happy. At last he was
He could
going
have just
to
asked
have
his
his
own
meal.
hat.
Jose cried and cried. He cried so loudly that a monkey sitting on a tree by the river heard his cries. The monkey chattered and ran up and down
Sorry
the
if you can hear
fence.
my chair going.
"Oh, Mr. Crocodile! Mr. Crocodile! Give me a ride, please.
Oh, I don't like
I'd
that
like
monkey's
to float
voice.
down the river, too," said the
Don't
monkey.
like that monkey.
"Why, certainly, my dear friend. We will be happy to give you a ride," said the crocodile. "What a great meal I shall have today. A
Said the
tasty boy
quite
and
part
a
loud
monkey."
there.
"Mr. Crocodile, come closer to the riverbank so I can jump on your back. Come closer, closer." The crocodile came closer and closer. Then suddenly, the monkey threw a vine to Jose. Jose caught the vine and lifted himself off the crocodile's back and onto the tree. The crocodile snapped his jaws and lashed his long tail just inches from Jose's feet. But Jose was safe on the tree. "Thank you. Oh, thank you. How can I ever repay you for saving my life?" "Easily," said the monkey. "What I love most is bananas. Ask your father to plant enough banana trees to feed both your family and my family. That will be enough payment." "All right, I will," said Jose. Jose climbed down the tree, and the monkey jumped on his shoulder. Then they both ran to tell the story to Jose's family.
What's
And from that day on,
just, Jose's
Jose
head is
and the
180
monkey
degrees
became
facing backwards,
very
and
close friends.
it's fine. He fixed it, and he befriended a monkey with a terrible voice.
Jose and the Crocodile is just one of many stories from the Philippines. You can find others in your school or public libraries. Stories like Datu Omar and the Fairy, and Princess Maring, the Huntress, and the story of the absent-minded king. Read and enjoy the stories from the Philippines and from all over the world. Share a story with a friend so our tales will never end.
Not sure what the moral was there either, other than, you know, don't talk to hats or alligators. Both bad. We're an alligator or a crocodile? I get them mixed up. They're the same thing. They're just, you know, exactly the same thing. Just splitting hairs. Just semantics. Well then, everyone, we've had a strange time here. It's been weird. I've enjoyed it. I don't know if anyone else in the world would have enjoyed this, but I've had a good time. Gonna move on to something else now, I think. Maybe definitely we'll listen to the other two stories that are future date. What weird thing! What weird thing! This is sick. Thank you, Bill Ball. That was the only name I saw. Matt and Mill, good work on the camera. The other two, you know, did okay. That's gonna be enough. We'll just stop it there. It's only the credits. Yeah, weird thing. Very strange. Glad we could find it. Glad I found it. I've had a strange night tonight. Couple of things I didn't understand. A thing that wasn't really a game, but was very strange and very interesting. Don't know what we'll do next.
The preceding program was funded in part
But we will do
by a
something.
grant from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
What have we got here? I think we're gonna have to move on to a proper game. You know what? We don't have to move on to a proper game. It's cheating though. It's cheating real bad. Nah, I think we do the proper game I've got here. There's still a few that are numbers rather than letters. We've actually got, 4 more? And that's not counting future Japanese ones, which I think we've had enough Japanese ones for tonight, but gonna have to do more in the future. There's a quiz coming up. A Japanese quiz game. Not sure how well we'll do there, but we'll try our best. I haven't even downloaded that one though. We can't move on to that. Yeah, I think I've got a game queued up here. Unless we feel like lemmings, which obviously we don't, because it is a time that exists. We will never feel like lemmings. Someday we'll have to, you know, just force self to, you know, take that bullet. Until then, got something queued up. Stream's gonna go down and it's gonna come back in a minute. Gonna have a quick break. This is how we do it over here. We just turn the stream off and back on when we want to have a break. Yeah, we'll be back with a new game. Give me like a couple minutes if there's anyone out there. I'll see you then.